terrific ball game. You know, when you talk about college basketball and a game that comes down to the wire, a little nip and tuck. Unfortunately for us, it turned out the way we wanted it to, but I thought that was an outstanding effort by both teams to honor a terrific person and a great coach and Coach Skip.
Questions for Coach Manning?
Danny, we talked to Sean D yesterday about his foot, but I guess is that evidence that it's not bothering him anymore?
Looked good to me today. Yeah, looked good to me today. He was, you know, it's everyone that played in the game, obviously in our eyes, made some type of contribution to this victory. You know, you look at Sean D's line, 26 points, 6 rebounds, guarded everyone out on the court at some point in time. Strong physical presence. Ended up putting him on Jones a lot because of the foul trouble and the lack of bodies that we had. He was outstanding. But, I mean, I can say that for everyone that played. You know, Odie played the most minutes he's played in quite some time. Brandon was big down the stretch, knocking down free throws. Andrea knocking down free throws and having 6 rebounds. Ish made a big 3 in front of our bench. I thought Jacoby's minutes were big time, 18 minutes, 3 assists, 9 points. Torrey was really sick the last couple of days, and he's able to come in and give us some quality minutes. June's minutes were good, and I thought Mikey Wynn came in and gave us a physical presence and gave us really good minutes as well. So across the board, this was a tremendous team effort for us.
Given also you talked about Sean D having to guard Tariq inside, you're already down Tariq and Sunday for the year, and then Olivier isn't there. What's your feeling when Isaiah and Odie fell out and you're
find a way, find a way. I mean, for us, I mean, just the game itself. I mean, it was a better start for us, especially the last 2 games. We did a good job of getting into the bonus, especially early on. I think once we got into the bonus, we didn't put enough pressure on them to continue to get to the free throw line. I thought we finished the first half really good on a nice little run to give us a little separation coming into the locker room. And then, we got composed after they hit us with that press late. We didn't handle it well early. Then we had Torrey start taking it out of bounds. We got the 3 near outlets, and then Brandon was able to knock down his free throws in those situations. And, for us, we made enough plays down the stretch to win it. I mean, they're a very talented basketball team. We knew they weren't going away. But when I look at the stat sheet and it says we lead for 34 minutes of the game, that's something that we can certainly build upon.
What's going through your mind when Goodwin's open and that ball's up in the air?
Don't go in. The PG version.
Dan, it's kind of silly, but in a way, but how big were the 2 missed free throws late in the game with the big chicken promotion where the fans were going nuts?
Yeah, that's one of the best promotions we got going. That's it. I mean, we have people really get into that game. So, I'd like to have that in the first half as well if we could figure that out.
How much can a win like this build confidence for this group when you pour out all the effort that they did today and you're rewarded by beating a team that's ranked?
This is certainly something that we can pull from. I talked about 34 minutes having the lead against a very talented team, one of the better teams in the country. And the contributions across the board from a lot of different guys, being able to build a lead, lose some of the lead, build it back up, handle the pressure where we didn't handle it well, and then we did a better job of executing down the stretch. All these things that we can build upon. But we've got to continue to work. And I think our guys did a terrific job this week, especially with finals going on and how we tried to give them the information on Xavier a little bit each day with the amount of time that we had in between games, and they had a great grasp on it. Now, we didn't guard scouting report the way that we like to all the time, but there are some very talented players that make things happen. And especially when you look at Scruggs, his line, terrific ball player. He shot it well. Marshall, I mean, they've got a really good ball team. And so for us to come away with this win, leading, 34 minutes of the ball game, to me, speaks volumes in terms of something that we can pull from, the confidence we can gather from this.
Did you need that first half to kind of go the way it did, just so there was that belief maybe that starts to waver a little bit after a few losses?
You know what? I mean, because we gave up 2 offensive rebounds in the first period of the game. Yeah, that's not how you want to start the game.
Well, this is the way the first half ended, like you mentioned.
Well, the first half ended with us, I think, going on a 7-0 run, something like that, to close it out. So that was always good for us when you walk into a lead, or halftime with a lead like that. So in that aspect, yes. But, we also have to understand that, teams they're talented. They're good teams. And as we continue to move on, and once we get in the league play, these are the type of talented young men and well-coached teams we're going to face night in and night out.
Danny, going into the halftime with that 7-0 run and a 9-point lead, you knew that Xavier was going to attack you guys with their physicality to start the second half.
No question.
Were you happy with the way your team responded to that, especially given the limitations in the post that you had?
Well, I thought Jones is probably one of the most physical players we've played up against this year. I mean, he's put together very well and moves very well. And I thought we tried to battle him. Now, we had 7 offensive rebounds, but a lot of those were off his own misses, going after and getting the ball. So I thought we put bodies in front of him, and we challenged him. And, fortunately for us, he got early fouls, and, you play a little bit different when you pick up early fouls, and you're in foul trouble throughout the course of the game when you're a physical type player. And, he's certainly a terrific ball player, but I thought our guys across the board that went in there and matched him in terms of putting a body on him and trying to box him out gave us great effort.
Odie doesn't really get rattled for being a freshman, does he? He just continues to kind of bounce around, doesn't he?
He's figuring it out. He's figuring it out. He's got a little poise and a little composure to him. Yes, he does. But, he's, the thing that's so impressive about Odie is how he plays. But he's the player, one of the players on our team who's not afraid to ask a question. There are a lot of times when you come sit in your film room or you're sitting in a room with your team, and does everybody understand? Yeah, coach. Yeah, coach. Does everybody understand? He'll be the guy that says, I don't understand. And that's good because there are 3 or 4 others in there that don't understand either. But they just don't want to raise their hand and ask a question. So he's got the confidence to put himself out there in situations like that. And like I said all along, he's a sponge. And he's just growing and growing. And, as he continues to develop with our coaches and puts together a little bit more of an offensive package, he's going to be a handful his upperclassmen years without question.
Danny, Jacoby was 0 for 3, I think, on threes coming into this game, and he's 2 for 2. Is it something that he just needed to build some confidence toward, or has he been working on it since the start of the season?
He's improving. He's improving. And he's certainly, I'm not going to sit here and say he's a 2 for 2 3-point shooter night in and night out, but he's certainly better than what his numbers indicated early on.
Even in defeat, Travis made sure to express what this game means, what this series means for the Xavier program to Skip. What does it mean to you as somebody who leads this program?
Well, I've knew Coach Skip for a very long time. I knew him when he was in Cincinnati. Got a chance to spend time with him, meet him, and talk to him. And, what we think about Coach Skip is still up on the walls. We still got quotes in our Bud practice gym, back staircase up to our practice court, his quotes on the wall. You walk into our locker room right now, there's a plaque of Coach Skip, and there's a quote. What he brought to our program, this university, the community, not only here, but also in Cincinnati and Xavier, you can't measure it. The type of person that he was. Obviously, he was a great coach, but it's bigger than basketball. And that's why the Classic is so important to honor his legacy, because we are all trying to help our young people be successful in all facets of life. And Coach Skip lived that.
Barely have a voice left?
Correct, barely.
You got to go, or is it just from today?
That's kind of my end of the game voice lately. That's been my end of the game voice. So I'll take a couple cough drops and drink some hot tea and be ready to go for the next practice.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.